Hello and welcome back to Tales from the Age of Men, and we're here on our URUK character once again, as, well, you were expecting something a little bit different here. You weren't expecting, this to return, but I thought, hey, you know what, we kind of, well, we didn't really finish things up too much. Funnily enough, I mean, obviously we are, just to give you an update on the map, we are absolutely dominating the forces of good here. And, well, I mean, you could quite clearly see here that they literally only have, like, what, I don't know, 5 fiefs remaining or something in Gondor territory. And then we also have, of course, Dale over here, which is where I am, of course. So we're going to be doing a little bit of, shall we say, speed sieging. Yes, speed sieging, because that's the reason why I still have Wolgan with me here. And we're going to see how many fiefs we can take in this episode. Because here's the thing. Currently, I am going to be making a Gondor series. I just want to give you an update on this. I am going to be making a Gondor series. It's just going to take a day or so. And then we're going to be diving in. So yeah, there's going to be a bunch of stuff that we're going to be very, very excited to see. And I am personally just, I'm so excited. I am extremely, extremely excited to head in and play as a Gondorian, because I feel like, you know what, it's actually going to be kind of dangerous. It feels to me like it's going to be kind of dangerous, because that initial start, I think, is really, really interesting, because we are going to be in that underdog situation almost immediately. You know, Isengard, Mordor, they're going to be just gnashing their teeth at us immediately. Very much instant aggression. They're going to be taking Osgiliath, and then they're also obviously going to try to take Minas Tirith. And I'm thinking right now, with our current setup, or shall we say with the current setup of how it works, it's going to be extremely difficult for us to maintain any semblance of defense. And the fact that we are going to be taking, well, quite a while to get ourselves up to scratch, as it were, right? Because we're let's face it, we are going to start level 1, you know? We're going to start level 1, and we're going to be basically the most default character that anyone can ever be. And we're going to have to speed ourselves all the way to, well, shall we say, I don't even know what, really. But we're going to have to do our very best to be as superpowered as possible, as fast as possible. Because otherwise, we may not even stand a chance. And I think the best, probably one of the best strategies we could end up using is literally just taking a relatively, I'm going to say it right now, probably infantry, cavalry force, and I'm talking about 50-50 here. So infantry, cavalry, 50-50. Taking those and basically being hit and run, right? So just like purely hit and run style mechanics, making sure that we have basically fundamentally the advantage every single time. That's going to be my strategy, or what I'm going to attempt to do. Obviously, I'm going to see what the situation is like when we actually get in to the game. But as it stands, I think that's probably what is going to be the key to success, potentially. Alright, so it's time for us to head into the siege. Let's see if we can remember how to play this character. It is kind of similar, because I do, for some reason, tend to go with these weird, I don't know, I tend to go for these weird two-handed builds nowadays. I don't know why. I think it's just probably because it's more fun, you know. Because I like having a big weapon to swing around and just absolutely smack people in the face. I always think that that is extremely, extremely enjoyable, especially considering the fact that most of the time, I feel like, okay, a shield is decent, don't get me wrong. I think a shield is probably going to be pretty useful. But I'm not entirely sure if it is one of those things that you desperately need to be effective. I think you can be very effective, very, very battle-changing, or shall we say battle-affecting, if you are using a two-handed. I don't think you need to use a shield to be, to actually stay alive. You know, you don't need that. But I don't know. Maybe it's been a while, you know? It's been a while since I've actually done that. So maybe it is actually something that I want to try out sometime in the future. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a Gondorian that uses a shield or something like that might be an idea. But I was kind of hoping to... I was actually wanting to use a pike. I know, it's actually quite funny because obviously using a pike, that's a pretty big two-handed. Kind of unwieldy weapon because obviously we're gonna have to use a little bit of a pokey action, and that's gonna be kind of harsh, you know. That is gonna be kind of harsh. So yeah, anyway, that is indeed a victory for us. That was very nice and smooth, and as I said, we're gonna go on a speed sieging spree, which means we're going to be going fast. Oh yes, we're going to be going very, very fast indeed. I have an extremely large army somehow. Oh yeah, it's because I'm the... Oh yes, I remember. Yes, it's because I am indeed the leader of the faction. Ah, that makes a huge difference, doesn't it? Yes. That makes a very, very significant difference in comparison to being a vassal. Because if we were a vassal, well... we're not going to have the opportunity to utilize, you know, the wonderful, what is it now? Royal Guard policy. Yes, the Royal Guard policy really makes a huge difference. 60 increase, I believe, right? Yes, I think it is a 60 increase, something like that. Owner of Stoneheart Hold will go to Morgan. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Because I'm the leader of the faction, I can decide on these things. Ha ha ha. Yes, it's actually quite nice. Anyway, let's see what we could do here. So this is going to be a bit of a tough one. You can see here, 557 people, 12 days worth of food. For me personally, I'm just going to go straight on in. Alright, so Dale's under siege right now, and for me personally, I am actually not entirely sure if I should continue using this Dwarven Hammer. I actually really like it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's actually really fun. It does have the ability to knock down opponents, which I very much like, but unfortunately, it doesn't really have a significant amount of damage. So we are, well, I mean, it's got 112, right? It's got 112, but obviously it's nothing in comparison to, for example, even this sword, right? It's 115, you know? And that's a Noldor sword. I mean, I say, it's nothing in comparison. But yeah, it's actually pretty good. I mean, it's okay, you know, it's fine. Maybe I should continue using the Heavy Executioner's Axe. See now, the trials and tribulations of choosing a weapon. You know what? Let's try using the Heavy Executioner's Axe again. Because this sword is obviously fantastic. Don't get me wrong, it's really good. But I'd like to use something that's a little bit more in keeping with being an URUK. And, well, obviously... They do scavenge a bunch of, well, equipment, gear, weapons, whatever, from the people they kill, which does make sense considering, you know, we're using, you know, dwarven weapons, we're using elven weapons and stuff like that. But yeah. Anyway, we're going to be going in. We're going to be going in here. We don't have any smithing skill as well, which obviously is, you know, kind of annoying because we're not really able to create something amazing, but it's okay. It's okay. We can hopefully, yes, we can hopefully do something here. Now, we are obviously up against the entire garrison as well. I decided that I wasn't going to starve them out or anything like that. I feel like starving them out at this point, it's going to take way too long. It's going to take another, what is it, 6 days or something like that. I feel like 6 days is way too much. Now, this is a very long swing time. Very long swing time. So I'm a little bit worried about this. But maybe what we can do is we can do this. We can use our wonderful strategy that we were using with our Elven playthrough, which is to tell our people to hold position in here. As you can see, this is actually kind of hard to use. Unfortunate. Yeah, we're actually doing okay here, though, as you can see. Let me just move this. I can't see anything because of the trolls. It's a good problem to have, though, to be honest. It's a good problem to have. Because these trolls, they are definitely going to be doing a huge amount of work for us. Okay, I have to be a bit careful here. These dwarves are actually really powerful as well, because they do have those blunt weapons. And the blunt weapons are basically able to just completely ignore a lot of your armor. And that makes a huge difference. I mean, just think about it, you know. Imagine you have, you know, the best armor in the game. Doesn't matter. If the opponent has a high penetrating weapon or something like that, you're going to be having a huge headache before long. Alright, let me actually just make my way... you didn't see that. Okay, you didn't see that. Let me just make my way up here. No, let me just... there we go. Okay. I was actually... I was wondering whether I was going to fall off there for a second. Again. Oh, what? These are my guys? Oh, okay. That's interesting. I actually thought that we were going to be facing some enemies here. But, no. Okay, never mind. I went all the way around there for nothing. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, but we actually do seem to be completely destroying the opponent here, even though their garrison is intact. I'm not doing a starvation mechanic here, which is kind of strange. I'm not sure what's going on, but I guess... Oh, yeah, wow. That was a nice hit. Oh, that was a nice hit. You know, when you can do a number of hits in a row with this weapon, it's so satisfying because you just know you're doing massive damage. As you can see, big damage coming in here. Unfortunately, these fellows are indeed using shields. But, of course, the axe does have a really big bonus to destroying shields, which is great. Unfortunately, it's annoying to have to deal with multiple shields, though, that's for sure. Okay, come on now. We're going to do a little bit of something here. There we go. Nice. I was basically just trying to lull that guy into a false sense of security, basically making it so that he's not defensive in the least when we eventually get around to murdering him. There we go. Nice hit. Nice. Just want to try big arcing swings. I don't know whether you've tried this out, maybe for yourself, but whenever you do a swing, you want to try to move your camera in a way that allows you to potentially hit another person with the same swing. Obviously, it is a little bit iffy, and sometimes you may indeed need an additional download mod, you know, to be able to make that work. But most of the time, if you can get a nice, clean swing and kill the opponent you're aiming for, then the swing that comes back from that will end up killing someone really nicely. So it is kind of useful to get into the habit of doing that, I suppose, anyway. But obviously, just very much depends. Let's just try and be a bit careful here. Whoa, we actually destroyed one of their shields? Wow, okay. The axe is apparently doing some massive damage. Yeah, look at that. Wow, that's incredible. Wow, okay. Yeah, I mean, we do have a bunch of... I think we do have a bunch of perks that does provide us with relatively significant shield-destroying ability. So I guess it's not out of the realm of possibility to assume that maybe that's the reason? I don't know, but... do you see the damage? You see this damage? Do I have strong legs? Yes, I do. Woohoo. Okay, that was close. Do I have strong legs? It feels like maybe I don't. I'm not entirely sure, but I took 2 damage, which I suppose is good enough. We've lost 25 people so far, which is not really that bad. Wow, this guy's got a shoot. Oh, that was nice. Okay, I certainly wasn't expecting that. I thought I was dead there for a second. I really did. Because that guy had really nice timing, but unfortunately not good enough. Okay, let's try and help out this troll. There we go. No. Ooh, that was a nice parry. Careful. We're very low in HP. Okay, you ready, sir? Yeah, nice. Okay, here we go. We're fine. We're all good. Come on, troll, help me out. Yes, thank you. They are very distracting. I find that's actually quite funny. Because, you know, they're so large and so menacing, especially that guy. I mean, look at him. He's literally running around with huge amounts of javelins sticking in him. And I mean, that is, to be fair, that is actually what he's supposed to be for. They are supposed to be these massive meat shields that are just incredibly hard to kill. And they are doing a fantastic job. I'm going to die here soon, by the way. There's not much I can do about that, I don't think. Maybe. Whoa, nice shield. Okay, probably gonna die in a minute. I can't really swing the alternate direction, unfortunately, even though I might want to. Nice. Okay, these guys basically decided to give up. Oh, he missed as well. That would have been perfect to swing through, but unfortunately I can't tank damage right now. Nice. Oh, I really wish I didn't have to fight these guys. Nice. Wow. Actually... Oh, no! I can't believe it. Alright. Well, there you go. That's what happened. Wait a minute. So how are we doing here? How are we doing here? We're doing alright, I think. We're doing alright. So, shall we speed through? Let's speed through a little bit. We do have 380 kills so far. Wolgan's armored trolls are the ones that are getting the most kills here. 167 kills. Surprisingly enough, I actually would have expected my own forces to do very, very well here, but apparently not. And there it is. They have decided to retreat to the keep, and we eventually managed to eliminate 900, actually almost 900. 898 people. There you have it. Very nice indeed. So we'll send those armor trolls in. I actually don't even know. Are they actually effective in the keep or something? Are they too tall to get into the keep? No, I think the auto-resolve doesn't really care about that. Anyway, there we go. Let's move on. And our second fief of the episode has fallen. We will be attempting to try and... should we set a target? Should we set a target? Let's try and take 5 fiefs. That's a bit of a bit of a conservative estimate right there, but you know, why not? Why not, right? Okay, so let me actually just see here real quick. Just sell all of this. I don't really need the cash, but I guess it is kind of nice to get a little bit extra. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we are getting a lot of... The Dwarven armor actually sells very, very nicely, so... Oh, wow, I can actually sell all of this. Wow, okay, that was a huge waste of time for me. All right, well, never mind, never mind. Let's see if we can get some things here. Let's get a little bit more grain. I'm just going to do a little bit of slidey action with the bar there. And there we have it. Okay, so we've now taken the town, so this is great. Let's actually just plonk a bunch of money in there, and then we don't really have to worry about it too much. The loyalty situation is absolutely amazing, by the way. Look at this, 98 loyalty in this. That's really very, very good. And otherwise... oh, Dale's under siege. Oh, okay. Hello. All right. Well, I'm going to be making my way over there. Let's see if we can stop whoever it is from taking it. I believe they were actually attempting to take it while I was besieging the other thing. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Faldor. Where is Faldor, by the way? Is he actually around here? Because it feels to me like he's not really doing too much. Alright, look at this. We actually managed to level up our leadership. Very, very surprising. I mean, it's quite funny actually how much of a difference my character build was on this character in comparison to the elf. Obviously, we had a little bit more scouting skill here. No medicine skill to speak of. No engineering. No roguery. No smithing, obviously. But yeah, smithing... You know, I gotta say it, I feel like smithing, despite the fact that it's very good for making money, and obviously for, you know, making a weapon that you're actually going to be proud to use, apart from that, it actually has some really, really good perks, you know? It has some really, really good perks that are going to be significantly useful to you in almost every single way, with the exception of, obviously, the 250 skill level perks, which I won't speak of. Because they are not welcome here, yes. But yeah, anyway, the point is, the amount of raw attribute increases that you gain from smithing is, I feel like they're just way too good to really pass up. I mean, I shouldn't really say that, to be honest, because that means that smithing is obligatory for every single character, which is not the case, of course. That is really not the case. It is not required to, you know, play with smithing. You don't need to play with smithing to be effective. But it is definitely going to help. It is definitely going to help, because then you're going to have an overabundance of attribute points, and that's exactly what you want if you want to try to create a, you know, relatively strong character. Well, should we say a relatively overall strong character, because it means that your attribute points are going to be placed in different things. So, for example, your level ups, they can be used to, you know, pump up social or intelligence, in comparison to being put into things like, what is it now? control or vitality, vigor, whatever, you know. Vigor, what is it? Vigor, control, and endurance. That's it. Yeah, so vigor, control, endurance, etc., etc. That stuff. You don't need to do that if you get smithing, you know? Smithing is very, very good to kind of give you that spare leeway so that you can actually spec into things that you might want to do, like, for example, getting some additional points in something that will give you more charm skill, or more engineering, more medicine, more scouting, so, you know, stuff like that. So you can actually put it in cunning as well if you wanted to, which would be pretty cool, you know? That would be very, very cool. And that is generally what I did with the elf as well. And, well, despite the fact that I didn't actually level smithing myself, you know, technically, because it does take a huge amount of time, which is generally one of those things that really does need to be... I'm going to die here. Yeah. Wow. I'm actually really surprised that... There... Wait. Oh, I'm living. Oh, wait. Oh, no. I'm dead. Yeah. That was actually a very rare sight. That was very, very rare. Usually, you're never going to see the AI gang up in such a deliberate fashion, shall we say. Because I feel like what they did there was extremely smart, obviously. They basically just surrounded us. It was very... I don't know. It's kind of a strange sight to see that. It really is. I haven't seen that very much. Usually, there's going to be a handful of people, right? Usually, there's going to be like, what? I don't know. 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 enemies that are going to be surrounding you. But for the most part, you're not really going to be... you know, threatened in that way. But these guys, there was literally like, what, 20 of them or something like that. Absolute craziness. So, yeah, some very, very nice work by the AI right there. They actually did a very, very good job of eliminating us, but that's okay. We don't really need to worry about it. So, Bolgan is not really liking what we're doing right now by showing mercy to the garrison populations here. But... that is, he's just going to have to suck it, you know. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm not going to devastate and pillage our own fiefs. It makes no sense. There is no sense in doing that. What is the point? There is no point in doing that whatsoever. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to be giving him... the fief in a second. Or maybe I should give it to myself and then gift it to him. That might make sense, because if we gift it to him, he's going to gain relation. Because I don't think he gains relation right now from this. So I'm actually going to just yeah. You know what? I'm gonna do something here, because funnily enough, when you give someone something through this menu, it doesn't actually give you relation with them. But if you give them something through this, it does give them relation. Look at that. Boom. Look at that. There we are. Very nice. 25 relation. Very, very good. And we're going to be besieging the next fief. And this has 168 days worth of food, which is incredible. And indeed, well, I'm not going to be starving them out, that's for sure. Alright, so the forces of Erebor are attempting to take us out. They are currently besieging, I think, the place that we just left, which is absolutely fine. I don't actually have a problem with that whatsoever. The only thing that we can really do is just continue onward. Oh yes, that's what we're trying to do right now. And indeed, we are going to be, I think, probably heading inside here with our warg. Can I actually ride through? Is it questionable for me to do this? Yes. Is it good for me to do this? Yes. But also bad. Okay, let me actually just do this real quick. There we go. I'm going to put them into a square formation as well. I am getting absolutely massacred and shot to death here, which is not very good. Actually, wait a minute. Should I... Wait a minute. What's going on here? I should probably run over here. Okay, I'm just going to hide here real quick. Oh, hello. Are you serious? Get out of here. Who's this? Who is this? It's a Sturgeon Heavy Spearman? No. You are not here. Thank you. Goodbye. Okay, so there we go, there we go. Okay, now I can basically just relax and chill a little bit. Unfortunately, the opponent does have some rather significant population here, so it is going to be a bit problematic, and we might have to participate much more than we, well, much more than I can, because you can see here I don't really have that much HP at this point. Okay, kind of bad that these guys are blocking. Yeah, I can deal with one person, but multiple people at once, very, very difficult, because they are going to cover for each other, and the speed of my weapon is not good enough, which is actually quite surprising. I would have expected at 280, but obviously, you know, that's the kind of weapon it is. It is literally, what, 30 speed slower than a lot of the other weapons. I could technically use my Elven Sword. I could use the Elven Sword. Which may be, I don't know, maybe that's the play. Maybe that's the, you know what, let's go for it. Let's go for it, because I am probably going to die. So it's probably going to be a nice idea to just go for it a little bit here. Look at the speed on this thing. The speed on this thing is absolutely insane in comparison to the axe. And I can literally... Oh, come on now. We were doing so much damage. Unfortunate, unfortunate. All right, okay. So, we are... we're having some issues, as you can quite clearly tell. We're having some big, big problems here. The enemy is already capable of eliminating 40 of us, and we've only eliminated 120 of them. That is very, very bad. We only have 400 people, just bear that in mind. So if we get to around 150, 200 casualties, Worgen also got himself eliminated just now as well. That's really bad. But yeah, if we get to 150 to 200 enemy kills, as in if they kill us that much, we are probably going to be in a situation where I will have to retreat. Maybe. I mean, it very much depends. I mean, look at what we've got going on here. My trolls are doing fantastically. You know, they are really, really doing the business here. And I actually cannot wait to see the new and improved trolls as well, because the new ones, they are dangerous, as far as I have heard, at least. But yeah, anyway, this does look relatively decent. I mean, you can see here, unfortunately, the enemy is coming in with more reinforcements. And as I said, 150 to 200, I might have to retreat from this. Yeah, I might have to retreat from this. I mean, 150. I mean, it depends. It depends on what our next wave is like. If we continue losing people like this, I'm gonna hover over the end battle here. We might be okay. I mean, as I say, it very much depends. I'm thinking right now that you know what? I'm going to retreat. I'm going to retreat here. This is potentially a fatal mistake, because everyone knows, if you've played the game you know, enough, you'll know if you retreat and there is an enemy army nearby, you know what's going to happen. They're going to try and take advantage of the fact that your player character is wounded, and they will try to murder you. They will try to murder you very, very heavily. Obviously, as you could see right here, the garrison is indeed mostly damaged, which is kind of nice. You know, that's pretty good. And yeah, we didn't really level up that much, unfortunately, but I guess that's okay. Yeah, the Elven Sword is definitely what I think we should probably use in, yeah, kind of positions like this, where you have so many troops and you just have to eliminate them really, really quickly. That's the only thing that we can really try here. Now, my medicine skill isn't as good as what we had with the Elven series, so I am going to take a little bit longer to recover. Alright, so we're getting stuck in here with our Elvish Blade, and indeed we will have the blood of our enemies running through the streets. If there are any streets, actually. Is this a town? I think it is. I think it is. So, yes. We will definitely be having that blood, thank you very much. I am a little bit injured, obviously. I didn't really have enough time to fully restore myself, but that's okay. You know, we don't really need to worry about that too much. As long as I am able to get a handful of kills here, that is all I really want. And maybe to affect the battle slightly. I don't really need to... I don't need to get hundreds and hundreds of kills or anything like that to be satisfied with how we've performed. I just need to... you know, do solidly. You know, a solid performance is all that I can ask for, really. And obviously after our rather annoying ambushing, shall we say, that we had in one of those previous sieges, it would be quite nice for us to get a little bit of revenge on the opponent for that. And yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how Rohan actually handles when we are playing as Gondor, because we do have obviously a lot of support to provide for them. That is that is a given. I feel like we should probably try to save them as fast as possible. Gondor does seem to be very resilient, and they do seem to stay alive for quite some time, and I've never actually seen them be eliminated. Obviously, if I was, I don't know, continuing to play with our URUK here, I feel like we would actually murder them pretty easily, but obviously that is a late game character. It's a very, very late game character. Isengard is completely fine. The Dunlendings are completely fine. You know, every evil faction is still alive and kicking, basically. And I think it would be very, very different if we had taken longer, you know, because obviously we kind of destroyed them. We kind of destroyed them pretty quickly. Mostly because I think there was some weird stuff going on actually with the URUK series. Mostly because of the elves. I don't know whether you noticed, but Lothlorien, they were eliminated very early in the series. And I think Dol Guldur, they actually took the fight to them really, really fast. And I think that was the main reason why we had so much, well, not so much success, because obviously it's not due to just one elvish faction being eliminated. But it definitely makes a big, big difference, because if Dol Guldur can actually get stuck in and do massive damage, because they have such a really very consistent bankroll, you know, obviously apart from Isengard themselves, because obviously Isengard is absolutely insane when it comes to the amount of money that they can make, thanks to Orthanc being just the most prosperous place in the world. Yeah. Apart from that, Dol Guldur is the next best thing. So, yeah, generally those guys would be absolutely fantastic at maintaining an army presence in enemy territory, because they just have so much cash. They can just do whatever they want to do. So that's obviously a big, big deal too. So I suppose that might be the reason. You know, that's the reason. The Dol Guldur, they decided, hey, you know what? Let's go and kill, you know, Lothlorien really, really easily. And yeah, they managed to do it. Really, very, very nice. Very impressive, actually, that they were able to do that. And quite funny, too, because we didn't see that in the Elvish playthrough. So it just goes to show that there is such a significant amount of variance in playthroughs in the mod, which I really very much appreciate. I love that kind of thing, because generally, for me, variance and the ability to have different things happen every single time, I think that's just so cool. I think that's just really, really cool. It really just kind of makes you excited to choose another character. You know what I mean? It makes you excited to start another playthrough and be like, yeah, what should I do this time? You know, that kind of thing. Even though, funnily enough, obviously some of the time it is pretty good to have some, shall we say, some static decisions or static things that happen. This literally just got taken back, really? Alright, I guess I must have taken too long to take this, but that's okay. Anyway, we're going to be moving on to the next town. As I said, we are going to be trying to take 5 fiefs. We've already taken 3, I believe. Actually, technically 4. And this one will be the 5th. 889 people, though. 889 people. That's actually pretty crazy. So Worgen is still not very pleased with us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this to myself, and then I'll give this to him. As far as I'm aware, I really do think it doesn't provide them with any relation. I could be wrong about that. I'm going to try that out, actually. You know what? I'm going to try that out. So next time we take a fief, I'm going to give it to whoever, and we're going to see whether it does actually increase their relation, because as far as I remember, it doesn't, which is kind of weird. Anyway, Swift Regroup is what we're going to go for here. This is really nice. Minus 15% disorganized state duration when a raid or siege is broken. I think that's kind of cool. Also, minus 50% troops left behind when escaping from battles. I mean, if something really, really bad happens, then that's a really, really nice thing to have to kind of you know, soften the blow, as it were. Do I need to go for medicine skill, by the way? Isn't someone else doing medicine skill for us? Yeah, someone else is doing medicine skill for us, this fellow. He has 222 in it, so that's pretty nice. Okay, let's go in here. And 13 days, I think we'll probably, maybe we'll starve them out. Alright, so it's time for us to head in, and we've already starved the entire garrison out. Now, the main reason why we do this, obviously, especially in this situation, is because, yes, okay, I have said in the past that waiting 12, 13 days is a little bit too annoying for my liking, and I do try to minimize those as much as possible, but in this situation, when the garrison is so large, I feel like it's worth it, you know. From, you know, efficiency standpoint, just literally being able to head straight on in here. I'm actually going to do something a little bit different now as well. I'm going to try to see if I can... Can I not affect those guys? Apparently they don't want to listen to... Ow? Oh, no, please don't die. Don't die, don't die. Whew, that was a bit close. Yeah, that was a bit close. Alright. Yeah, so this is going to be pretty simple, but the dwarves militia are actually really good. They're really, really good. Because they have a lot of shields. Some of them do have two-handed, at least as far as I remember. Maybe I'm misremembering that, or maybe I'm thinking of some garrison somewhere. But generally... Wow, okay, yeah, they are actually really good, as you can see right there. Look at that. They absolutely destroyed me. And that is all thanks to their wonderful thrown weapon hit at the very beginning. They actually did so much damage to me just from that one thing, and that literally set them up for the kill. Alright, well, it's not that big a deal. As I said, we have eliminated the garrison, so my forces should have a very, very easy time here, and we really just have a formality ahead of us, and that is it. There you go. Very nice, easy victory for us there. And indeed, we are going to have to do the auto-resolve to get in and get out. And shake it all about, of course. You know, that we can't forget about that. Alright, so remember the little experiment that we were going to do. So basically, we're going to choose the owner of Steinhol here, and we're going to be making it Wolgan, because he has 88 relation. And I feel like that makes sense, right? Because Faldor has 100, so we won't be able to tell whether his relation increases or not. But I'm almost 100% certain that this guy's relation is not going to increase when I select him like this. Did his relation increase? Nope. It didn't. You see exactly what I'm talking about? Funnily enough, it should. It should increase, but it doesn't. Which is really, really weird. I'm not entirely sure why that is the case, but that has been like that for quite some time in Bannerlord. It's a very, very weird situation. But anyway, okay, we are going to be taking Rumor Network, I guess. Rumor Network doesn't really do much for us, but we're going to take that, I suppose. We have a focus point to spend. I don't know what to spec it into. That's the thing. Well, I mean, there's nothing much to spend it in at the moment anyway, so yes. Not very, very useful, but yeah, well, anyway. This is going to be a problem, isn't it? Oh, Gondorians. Oh, there's actually quite a few Gondorians in here. Okay, interesting, interesting. Okay, so there's 438, 43 days in the garrison. We're not going to be able to starve them out. Alright, here we go. This is going to be our final siege in the episode, as far as I can see, because we do have a significant amount of territory already gained. And, well, we kind of proved a point. We kind of proved a point that we were capable of doing some extremely nice territory expansion with very minimal time expense, as we have been very speedily doing it. Obviously, this is going to be probably the hardest siege that we've done so far, just purely because we weren't able to starve them out. Yes, we weren't able to starve them out. So this is going to be kind of harsh. Oh, hello. Oh dear. Oh, see, now this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is terrible. Okay, well, we might be okay here. Or we might just get shot to death. Yeah, nah, it looks like we're going to be shot to death, friends. That's really, really bad, unfortunately. I couldn't really... could I do something about that? Maybe? Maybe I can live? Oh, no, see, now this is what I'm talking about. The hammer actually murdered us so dramatically, and they have so many of these guys that it literally, I can't even do it. I can't even do it. I have to retreat. The enemy has so many of those hammers. They are exceptional. Like I said, they are some of the best units you're ever going to see, because they will literally destroy any high armored target, which is exactly what you're doing. You know, that's exactly what you're wanting to use at this point in the game, because this is late game. You know, medium to late game, you want to start transitioning into having high troops. Obviously, you're going to make sure that you have, you know, higher level troops, because that's the game, you know. It's basically a game of numbers. It's all about making, you know, your smaller numbers be larger numbers, and that's how you win the game. But yeah, anyway, the point is, these guys, these dwarves, they defy the large numbers. They don't care about the large numbers. They just go bonk, bonk, bonk with their bonk sticks, and we just absolutely get destroyed. Okay, so we're going to go in a little bit under the cover of night, and hopefully that's going to make a small difference. I highly doubt it, but I mean, it very much depends, obviously, if the battle map is respecting the world map's time. So yeah, hopefully the accuracy of the opponent will be slightly reduced here. Obviously the enemy is actually having a pretty sizable population of ranged troops. We're going to put them into a square formation right now, and we're going to see if we can maybe do the Elvish strategy that we had very good success with. Let's put these guys in there. There we go. And I'm actually going to play very conservatively this time. So I'm basically just going to let my forces penetrate the defenses, and then we're going to be coming in from behind. Yes, there we go. This is hopefully going to make a big difference. Obviously, we've got to slash at these opponents multiple times, because they do have such high HP and very good armor as well. Okay, here we go. Come on. Let's get these guys out of here. The question is, should I tell my forces to charge in? I think we should. Let's do it. Let's be a little bit aggressive here. The only problem with doing any kind of charge order is that it then scatters the opponent. Opponent? A potent. Yes, a potent. Yes, a potent individual indeed. No, I was going to say opponent. It does scatter them, because they are obviously going to be a little bit panicked. They're going to be like, oh no, we're being murdered. We're being murdered 6 ways from Sunday. And, oh no, these hammers, get me out of here. Get me out of here. They really they do so much damage. It's actually crazy. I mean, obviously they do. As I said, high penetration values. They are really good. Thankfully, we don't really have to worry about them too much. They do seem to be a bit rare. Or rarer, shall we say? Oh, wow, yeah. The militia is very good. Are these militia? I think they are. I could be wrong. Just seems like there's a lot of these guys. Okay, just try to do damage. Just try to do damage. I don't need to do anything special. I don't need to do anything flashy. I just need to stay alive and do as much damage as I possibly can. There we go. Nice hit. Nice hit. Try and eliminate these guys. Go along the line. Make sure that we're not taking too much damage. Make sure we're not being too overzealous. That's one of the things that we've got to bear in mind here. We don't need to be, as I said, don't need to be flashy. Just need to do the grunt work, as it were. Basically, just do simple stuff. Simple stuff. That's all we need. Nothing too dramatic. There we go. That's what, you know, that's the funny thing. That's what gets the job done, you know. Not fancy stuff. Just regular, straight up, solid fighting with good, efficient attacks. That's all you need. That's all you need. You don't need these fancy things. You can just, you know, you can get a cool 100 kills just by playing solidly, making sure that you live, obviously. You need to make sure you live to be able to get that number. Because if you die instantly like I do sometimes, then it is not really going to work out too well. Unfortunately, the enemy is actually scattering our forces now a little bit here, which I don't really appreciate. Doing some good damage here. And I am weakening some of the opponent without actually finishing them off, which maybe is a bad idea, but I kind of prefer doing that over chasing down one kill. as one kill sometimes can actually mean that you then take a, I don't know, 50 damage hit or something like that, and that's something that I would prefer to avoid. Wow, we destroy shields really, really fast. Gotta say, I love that. Look at this. We're destroying this guy's shields so incredibly quickly. There we go, he's dead as well. Okay, I'm gonna actually tell my forces to go into a square formation once again. Maybe that is a mistake, but I feel like it's kind of necessary right now just to kind of consolidate our forces, try to get them working together again, instead of them literally just running around randomly now. Okay, I'm trying to do damage. Unfortunately, these fellows are harassing me quite well. They're doing a very, very good job at that. As you can see, they're literally right on top of me right now. Let's tell my forces to charge in once again. I think we're receiving reinforcements right now. I could be wrong about that. Ah, there it is, there it is. Okay, I actually killed 102, but that is not really very good, is it? No. That's not very, very good. Okay. The question is, are we actually even... I mean, look, we're doing okay. I mean, we've killed 300 of them. We've only lost 100. We have about 400, don't we? I think we have about 400. So we can technically sustain another 200... technically another 200 kills. But I don't really want to stretch it that far, because that has the potential for a defeat. So I'd kind of like to do... Well, we're getting a load of extra kills right here. I mean, you can see, mostly green, nothing really to worry about. Oh dear. Yep, there's the big sea of red coming in. That is very, very bad. How many enemies do they have? How many troops do they have left? Ah, no, they're done now. Yep, they're done now. Okay. Whew. That was actually a little bit close. That was actually much, much closer than I would have liked. As you can see, I'm going to have to end the battle here because the garrison is at 0. That's okay, though. That's fine. We can just make our way out of here, do the nice little auto-resolve, and then we can take a look at what we've been able to accomplish in this episode. 34,000 experience, technically, if I wanted to do that, but no, I don't think that's particularly useful. But yeah, so we have actually found out that giving fiefs to your vassals, that doesn't actually do anything. You have to gift them if you want them to gain relation. It's a little bit strange. I'm not entirely sure what's even going on with that, but yeah, I think that's been a Bannerlord bug or something like that for quite some time. Anyway, yeah, so we have 2 lake towns, by the way. Oh no, that got taken. Oh no, it doesn't matter. That's absolutely fine. Look at it. Look at this. This does not matter in the least. This is going to be exceptionally easy for us to take, and or obviously the settlement itself is rebelling, so that's obviously a thing. And you can see here that Steinhall is actually under siege, which is also not that big of a problem. But I got to say that Dale is probably one of the most intimidating places to really try to besiege, because there are just so many fiefs. It's actually kind of crazy. Anyway, I'm going to just show you the map once again, because I think this is probably going to be the last episode of the URUK series as well. And then we'll make our way into the world of men and Gondor, and we'll see how that goes. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.